Hey guys, biracial Tiffany here. Something so awesome happened today. I was walking down the street on my way home from the gym, and my YouTube world and my real world collided when C Mike 9783 was like, "Hey Tiffany." It was so fun. So anyway, it was really great to see you on the street today. Thanks for recognizing me. So what am I going to talk about today? The last video I did about like the guy at the party, and it was between one dropping with exceptions and one biracial people into the black community with stipulations and stigmas and all that stuff. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed all the comments from that video, on that video, and Hollywood Joe, like, you totally opened my eyes to something that I don't think I could have, I don't think I'd seen before, that it's sort of a biracial defense mechanism or something to any time there's any sort of criticism from a monoracial black person to say, oh, it's just because they're jealous. They must be jealous of me, and so that's why they would say something like that to me. You know, that had never occurred to me before, but I see it now. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you, and I will be checking myself from now on for sure. Be Matt 820, I really like your latest video. You know, talking about, like, who cares if you act more white, if you act more black, what these people expect of you, and sure, should you go over here with these people and just go your own way? And I've been thinking a lot about, like, the difference in me now as I sit here reflecting on this stuff and talking about it, and the difference between me when I was going through many of the experiences that I am now talking about. Like, you know, I guess even through college, I can't say that, like, I got to college and no longer cared what anyone thought about me at all. That is so not true. But I just think the way the world works these days is, like, we're so influenced by the media and, you know, fashion and celebrity, and we're sort of set up to chase these things that really, when it comes down to it, don't mean much. But it's always like seeking approval from the outside. And I've been I think something that surprised me from starting this vlog and interacting with people and hearing from people is that how many people seem to really believe that everyone else should be able to decide how I identify. Everyone else should choose because everyone else is going to see you as black, so then I don't understand why you aren't just black. And I just think, you know, there's some kind of transition into adulthood that is marked by the realizing that it doesn't really matter what everyone else thinks and expects of me and tells me I should want. I get to decide that for myself. And I think you expand your consciousness when you reach that when you come to that realization, because the stuff of the world isn't so important, and, you know, this is. Can you even see that? And so I was also thinking that, well, how do you get to that place? And I think, you know, I think a lot of us are lucky enough to go to college and sort of be able to get out of our home environment, out of that, like, little microcosm from which we came. And you get to experience other things and get a different perspective. Saying that we should all forsake our families and denounce what they have taught us at all, but I do think, you know, in every situation, no matter how wonderful your upbringing, there's always room for a new perspective. Even if it only, I guess, makes you appreciate what you came out of even more. And I think a lot of people don't get that opportunity when they don't go away to school because you stay home and you stay in that same mentality that got you where you are. And if you look around you and you see that it's not working, like, you don't want, what your community has to offer you. You've had enough of that. I think, if you're not going to go to college, if you could save money and just move away and try to be on your own in a new environment and love your family up just from a little bit of a distance to then really see who you really are without all of the influences that you have no control over. I just think that's really important, and something else that, aside from the education, did I already say this? Jesus. That is important about going to college. And I was watching Tavis Smiley, and Louise Hay was on today, and she was talking about learning to use your mind for you instead of against you. That when she, got out in her own on the world, she had a lot of negative feelings and thoughts about herself, and she drew negative experiences to herself. But as she learned to use her mind differently and to see life in a different way and to change her consciousness, she brought positive experiences to herself and changed her world by changing her thinking. And she talked about the joy of living in the moment, and that's the last thing I'm going to talk about, I guess. I think back in that time when I really, really cared so much more about what everyone thought of me, and just gave my power away. It was like, I was a people pleaser and, just wanted to be liked because I was so sure that I wasn't going to be, because people were only going to see what was different from me about them rather than what was the same. That I didn't enjoy many moments that I could have and I wish that I had, because I was so worried about what are people thinking and what should I say next, and all that stuff that I'm not really trying to be hard on myself or anything, but I'm happy to not be in that place anymore. So I guess that's it.